Hello, I'm Aaron,
I'm Parker.
and this
This
is
is
the
the
Aaron
Aaron
and
and
Parker
Parker
podcast. Episode
Episode
4.
4. Yeah,
Episode 4. Here we
and
go.
probably the last episode for a long time.
For a little bit.
Because this will be our last time to...
You gotta silence your phone there, buddy.
No, it was silence. It vibrated. It was just vibrating. But this will be our last podcast for a long time because this will be our last time seeing each other before I have to go back to Buffalo.
Yep. You're leaving the 24th, you said?
Yeah, the 24th.
Wow. Now,
So this will be like a get your Kleenex out. It's gonna be
I mean, I don't
a bit
think...
of a
Is
farewell.
it gonna be that... I don't think it's gonna be that
Well,
emotional.
we won't be able to do another podcast for a while. And I know, like, probably not. I know lots of people probably don't listen to this, but
I don't
the people
think
who
people
do
are going to cry.
I know. But like metaphorically, like get the figurative tissues out for your figurative crying of your figurative heart.
Okay.
Because yeah, we'll be out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna get sentimental probably.
It is about that time of year where people are starting to leave. My cousins are going, who are the same age as me.
Oh.
That's been a bit rough. A lot of people who you know, even my cousins who are a grade lower than me, they're going to college for the first time, and it's definitely very scary for people.
Oh yeah.
I can
would
imagine
think so.
going to a school for the first time definitely is weird for this age of COVID and everything.
Probably. I mean, I was nervous enough last year. Like last year, I was like freaking out like every day. I couldn't think about it. I couldn't sleep
rough.
at all.
That was sad.
I couldn't sleep any day. The bags under my eyes were there when I got to college, because I wasn't sleeping so much. But so I can't imagine if you have a virus also, how big their bags under their eyes are going to be from not sleeping as much. Before
but they
going
also
to college.
they can't go to college if they have the virus, Parker.
No, not sleeping less because they have the virus, sleeping less because they're thinking about the virus.
You just said
Like
if they have the virus.
No, with the virus as a factor, as a thing present in the world, as a thing that's making people sick and unhappy.
Right. Okay. I mean, people just need to stay healthy. And
thinking about the virus can keep people awake at night.
I feel like if people are trying to stay healthy as best they can, then they don't have to worry as much. But it's definitely such a big change that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I guess for this episode, I guess we're just gonna talk a lot about that, about how it feels to be going and what to expect for the future of this podcast, and
holding nothing back, just going all in, saying everything we want, because we can't.
I guess not everything.
Well, no, but this will be our last time to say the things we want to say on the podcast until we go back to college. Just let everything out.
Right, and we might. I mean, there's a small chance we might be able to do a Zoom podcast, but most likely.
Well, I don't want to bother Connor because I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be that annoying roommate who's always. Like,
I have a single right now, so it's fine for me. But
I don't want to be the annoying roommate. Connor, if you didn't listen to the earlier podcast, that's my roommate. He runs track, but I don't know what the running track schedule is. So I don't know when he'd be in the room.
You could always find a practice room, but if it doesn't work out, there's always we expect hopefully there to be a future of this podcast.
I hope so.
During school breaks, and whatever happens. So be sure to keep a lookout for what happens
for more
to this
podcasts,
this channel and this podcast.
Maybe in a few weeks, maybe in November.
Maybe not
until November.
Maybe, the longest we've gone without doing a podcast is about 3.5 weeks between one of them, between the first and second one, but it might be 3 months, and that's just how it's going to be. So, I guess we're just gonna go and.
Yeah. Imagine November. That might be the next time we see each other.
Imagine.
November seems so far off. Like,
I guess I haven't really
don't
thought
know,
about like the implications of not seeing you. But anyways, it'll be okay.
I mean, it'll yeah. It's just November feels like it's so far away, but I guess it's not really.
Do you remember what were you doing last November? I mean,
Last
it was
November.
just normal. I mean,
Well, yeah.
at this
I mean,
point, when
like
you were
last
coming home
November,
from college.
I actually came home for a weekend before Thanksgiving because I wanted to celebrate my birthday at home.
Oh right, November 12th.
Yes, November 12th. You remembered. Thank you. Lots of people don't remember my birthday. Did I ever? Yeah.
I'll always remember.
Okay. I'm not great with birthdays.
Do you know when mine is?
January. January 11th. January 11th, right? Is that someone else's?
It might be someone else's. Mine is January 1st. You got the
January
one,
1st. Wait.
You got the one, though.
How did I forget New Year's Day?
Is...
That was the big thing when we were younger. I was like, it was so cool that your birthday was on New Year's Day.
It's kind of overshadowed
How
sometimes.
How did I forget
but
that?
It's okay. No, you're fine. I'm not...
Oh, I remember whose birthday is on January 11th. I remember why I was thinking that. I remember whose birthday was on January 11th, but it's fine.
Okay.
And I remember when we were younger in school, like when you would write down your birthday, it was 010101.
That's right.
Yeah, and that was so funny because I thought it was like a computer, because computers are in like zeros
binary?
And ones, so
I thought it was binary. That's funny.
I didn't know it was called binary, but I thought, like, is Aaron a robot? Because like his birthday is 010101.
Well, actually,
so I started like calling you a robot, but then I felt bad because like I think
a little bit of binary.
Some other kids heard me calling you a robot, and I like.
Is that how that started, Parker?
Well, it wasn't meant as like an insult.
Wait,
it's just that other people
took
it as I only called you a robot because your birthday was 010101.
This whole time when people were calling me, even in high school, do you remember Jason Brown commented on my post saying I'm a robot?
It wasn't just on he talked about that a lot. I mean,
what?
I know you didn't hang out with Jason Brown, but when I was dating Hannah, we were around each other a lot because Hannah and Elio were really good friends, and Elio was dating Jason at the time, back when he was like, back before all that.
Big yes.
So I was exposed to Jason a lot. I mean, it wasn't a big thing. It just sometimes. I mean, I know you don't. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but like
what?
I mean, Heather was in that group too.
I know.
So sometimes just like randomly sometimes you'd be brought up in conversation as a side thing.
Wait, Heather would talk about me?
Well, not always Heather. Like we would be talking about. Like maybe Hannah would be talking about something that happened back in 9th grade, and they'd say, oh, we were doing this back then. Oh, Heather, what were you doing back then? Oh yeah, Heather, you were with, that was when you were with Aaron, but it was never a big thing. And then Jason would sometimes quip about oh, we're trying to clean off his rust or something. He never actually said those words. I just
what? I thought that stopped. I thought that stopped in like 5th grade.
You know Jason. I mean, I try. I'm very conflicted about Jason. I try to have empathy for him because obviously, like none of us could know what he was going through.
Right. I don't
during
think we
that
should.
whole-
I don't think we should explicitly
during
say
that whole period of time. None of us can know what he was really going through, but I mean, come on. Come on, some of the things he did.
Well,
I mean,
I think I can have empathy for people, but now that I know that he perpetuated this robot thing for, I mean,
he was a very confused person. I don't know. I feel for him. I feel bad for him sometimes, but I know he was horrible to. I know he was pretty bad to Alia when they were dating, but he was.
I don't think this should be a drama thing,
I know.
Parker.
I know. I
don't want this podcast to be something that people flag down and track us down for.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I didn't even realize people might listen to this, and
I think.
Okay. I said at the beginning of this, just holding nothing back, just saying whatever we feel. Got my Blue Mountain Dew here. I'm just ready to. I always restrain myself. I always feel like I can't talk about things, so I feel like this podcast could be a good outlet. And if
but just
if
so you
Jason
know,
or
it is
someone
going on YouTube for people to listen to.
But I mean, come on, we had 50 viewers out of how many people?
50 is a lot
in the world. But what are the odds that Jason would see it?
Well, he knows us.
I mean, barely. I don't know.
I guess
I don't think he thinks about us.
What is the probability of Jason Brown sitting through this podcast and getting to this part?
But then also there's there's a whole web connected to Jason. What if any of his football buddies heard, except I don't know if he really talks to any of his football buddies anymore. I think they sort of they sort of cut him off.
I would say unfairly.
Jerks. Yeah, they were all jerks. The people on the football team were all jerks. Jason included sometimes, but I mean, Jason had his. We're not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about.
We're not like them.
They are not as understanding to Jason as we are. We're not going to talk about specifics with Jason, though.
Yes.
He was just someone who we went to school with.
But I guess at the time I didn't feel bad for him because I was kind of, I guess, wrapped up in what was going on with myself. But it was, I guess now I can look back on it and see the unjustness of what people did. And
what was going on with you at that time?
Well, you know.
Were you still? Were you still like? Oh, I
was having feelings for someone still. After it was a previous relationship. It was a previous relationship that.
For the people listening who don't know, it's Heather, the one.
Yes.
Who Aaron dated.
Okay.
People aren't gonna listen to this. It's fine.
Yeah, I was. There was a lot of chaos going on in my world, and I remember all I could think about when I was working my job was her, and all I could think about when I was playing my instruments was her, and it was definitely something that took control of my studies and my work, and I admit it was, I guess there was a lot of self-reflection. I learned a lot about myself, but
I guess I didn't talk to you much around that time. Thinking about it, I mean,
you did a little bit. No, you did. You did. But I learned. I learned to see that I myself can make mistakes, and not just other people. I guess whose fault is it? Who trained me to think that I couldn't make mistakes? But is definitely.
We all make mistakes somehow, sometimes.
I used to talk to my mom about it a lot, and I mean, she couldn't provide too much insight because she wasn't at the school, she wasn't living through it, but she did say, Aaron, people will only see what you put out to them, and I guess I was putting out an emotional mess, but that's not me. I didn't.
It felt like it sometimes.
That's not. It. I guess at the time I actually was, but I didn't want to be perceived how I was.
I think a lot of people did.
But anyway, that's in the past. There's things in the future I'm looking forward to going back to college, so I don't usually think about that anymore.
Like Sammy?
Yes.
Someone you're looking forward to in college.
We haven't. I thought this was.
Oh, sorry. We don't have to talk about Sammy.
Oh,
Sammy's.
sorry.
I'm not gonna.
She
I'm not gonna
goes
just
to my school, Parker.
I didn't give a last name. I still don't know Sammy's last name.
No, she doesn't. No. Nope. I'm different school. Sorry, I meant to say she goes to my cousin's school, not mine.
Sam.
I didn't want to tell her.
Okay. Well, never mind. Just forget I said anything. What were we talking about before that?
A lot about that was Robot Aaron, but anyways, I remember asking what were you doing? I mean, you're talking about November. What were you doing last November?
Noveember's always been a weird month for me.
Maybe it will be.
It's
I mean, I hope not this year.
Bad things always seem to happen to me in November. Like every year it's like a curse. Bad things always happen to me in November, right around my birthday. Which I can't remember the last time I've had a good birthday.
Has that been a pattern for you?
Yeah, every November.
Has it been caused by something? I mean, it has to. I mean, by the excitement of your birthday, maybe?
Freshman year, of course, freshman year, you remember, like, my birthday was 4 days after.
Oh.
So I didn't want to I didn't want to invite people over. I didn't want to have a birthday party, especially because like you didn't even. Never mind, you did, but you didn't. I mean, everyone was mad at you, because you didn't. So I didn't want to, and like I couldn't imagine celebrating anything when like, just 4 days earlier we'd like, you weren't there.
Yes, I know. You already said that, Parker.
But so you didn't
don't
see
need
the
to
fight.
say that anymore.
There was a fight. There was a big like, people like, Oscar and Zach. I think that was pretty much the last time they spoke as friends. So right after that whole mess, I didn't want to have a birthday party. So I spent my freshman year birthday just lying in my room, just wallowing in the death of my childhood and innocence.
Wow, that is profound, and I'm very sorry. I didn't.
Well, no, you. I mean, I know you went through some of the same stuff, but you weren't there, so you didn't see. You didn't see like the whole Camp Stonewall thing.
What? I don't. Why are you saying that I?
No, I'm not bitter. I've forgiven you. I understand why you weren't there. I'm just saying, like, you had to be there to really know what it felt like to like know that this is the end of a friendship.
This is the end of a friendship. I mean, I could feel that for my own, definitely.
But you weren't. I mean, you. Okay, I guess you never had as much. You didn't have like as definitive of a.
Yeah, your birthday.
Closure.
I'm sorry your birthday was ruined. I know that was a thing for you.
So, then sophomore year. I mean, don't You guys know I don't want to get political, but me and my family pretty upset around November of my sophomore year.
Oh, that was the election.
2016. Yeah, I don't want to get political.
Oh.
I don't want to get political, of course, but me and my family were pretty upset that night. And my birthday was 4 days after that.
Right.
Also.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So
there's always something for you, huh?
So I mean that didn't ruin my birthday entirely, but but also that was sophomore year. I sat alone at lunch on A days and C days. So I didn't really have a close.
You never told me.
I don't think we had lunch periods together in sophomore year.
I feel
honestly,
like
I don't remember much of
you could have
sophomore
told me
year.
that happened.
I feel like nothing happened in sophomore year really. I kind of blocked it out. I can't think of any major events that happened in sophomore year.
I feel like junior year was the biggest year. For me, at least. But
for you, okay. I mean, I feel like I didn't talk to you as much in junior year either, or senior year for most of it.
I mean, now it's full circle. I guess we talked a lot in freshman, but what happened? What happened the next year on your birthday?
Oh, that was junior year. November.
That was okay.
This is.
What did we do?
This is 2017.
Correct.
Was November of our junior year. Oh yeah, that was. I know. I told you about my great uncle passing away. Last podcast.
Oh.
It was like a week before my birthday.
Oh really? Wow.
Junior year. Yeah. So I feel like, I mean, it was understandable for the family to be grieving that much, but I feel like they kind of forgot about my birthday that year because of that. And then I know you're gonna ask about November of senior year.
I feel like I already know.
Yeah. That was. I mean, I
went through a similar thing.
Did you?
I mean, in terms of a relationship, but
did you? What in November of senior year?
Correct. Yeah.
What you just went through a breakup?
No.
November of senior year?
No, I mean before.
No.
Explain. You can. I'll explain after you explain.
Do you want me to explain? Okay, I said I'd just like spill everything, and I a little hopped up on this blue Mountain Dew, so I'm gonna talk about Hannah and just hope that
I was saying that
she doesn't
went through a
see it
in before junior year.
But you said November of senior year.
No, I was saying I had a similar experience to.
I thought you meant around the same time.
No.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay, so you're talking about the breakup with Heather.
Yes, I have broken up with some. I've had a similar experience in high school, but
you've been broken up with, yeah. But also, I mean, you and Heather weren't. I mean, I don't want to discredit your feelings, but you weren't dating for that long. Well, not as long as Hannah and I were. But I don't want to discredit your feeling. It's not a contest.
Sure.
But it's not a contest for
love is not a time. Love is not constrained by time. Well,
were you in love with her? You really think?
I
know you said you were in love at the time, but
I'm a different person than I was before, and how could I guess no. I'm more mature now. I think I have a good concept of what love is now, but well, okay, keep going with your story, please.
Well, I mean, you know the story. I mean, Hannah broke up with me in November, and that kind of ruined the rest of my senior year. I just didn't want to talk to anyone for a while. I mean, I talked to Zach a bit. Zach was kind of my support system because I knew he was having hard times too. So it gave me perspective talking to Zach because I thought nobody could feel as sad as I was feeling when Hannah left me, but I saw that, Zach
else
was having a bad time too. So
okay.
it really helped me to have Zach to talk to.
That's very good, Parker.
Because
I'm glad you had someone. That's very good.
Well, you seem bitter. Like
what? No, I'm not bitter.
Discrediting
No,
your suffering.
I'm not bitter. Zach was there. That's completely okay.
I know I wasn't there for you.
No. I'm not saying I am not. No, but, this is about you. This is not. No.
I mean,
Please go.
But at that point, we weren't really as close friends.
I'm not talking about that.
That was after the whole Camp Stonewall
I'm
group
just saying that I'm glad you had someone. I apologize, but keep.
But also for a long time, I know I wasn't being a good friend to Zach, so it helped to be able to be there for him finally, because I know I wasn't for a while, and I know I wasn't for you either. I know around that time I was kind of dismissive of you. I still feel bad. I remember you would text me every so often during the summer and early fall of that year and like ask me if I wanted to hang out, and a lot of times I didn't respond, and I'm sorry for that. I think I can recognize that I lost myself a little bit in my love for Hannah.
Don't be too hard on yourself, though. I don't think you should feel any guilt.
I like to think I've grown since then, and I like to think I've made progress, but
definitely
there's a nagging feeling in the back of my head, and like a voice that's like been ripping me apart, saying you'll never really change. You'll always just make the same mistakes. You'll always just make yourself suffer. Because I keep doing things that I know are bad ideas, and I know will hurt me.
What you do things that will hurt you on?
No, not on purpose. No, I don't. Not like physically harming myself, but I do stupid things, and never mind. It doesn't matter.
I guess it doesn't.
Because I keep thinking
it doesn't matter. I know it does. It does matter, Parker. I want you. I hope that you have control over what you're thinking. I'm sorry that at times you felt powerless.
Sometimes I don't know if I really have control, like, of myself or of my feelings at all, because sometimes I just see myself as, I don't know, I see myself almost as like a character, and I have to have the most satisfying ending to everything in my life, but I know I can't, and I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm entitled to being as happy as I think I should be, but I don't know what that means.
I think you should have a good birthday.
Yeah, that doesn't
I
It's
know,
just a
just an
thing.
example, just a small example.
I'm sorry. I've been talking about myself too much. I haven't been giving
That's
you
no,
enough
keep.
room to
This
talk.
is. I feel like this podcast being the end of summer brings about a lot of reflection.
Yeah.
I hope that people will. I mean, they can enjoy it for different reasons. They can enjoy it for the authenticity of it. I mean,
yeah, we're just putting ourselves completely on the line. We're giving our hearts to you, our broken hearts to you, and we're
well,
hoping you can take care of them and do something
Parker,
with
I
them.
do think that you deserve a lot, and I think the way you're thinking about this is is upsetting, but it is very thoughtful. And
I don't always think like this. I don't want you guys to think I'm completely depressed or anything. It's just that lately, since I'm going to be leaving Mill Meadow again, and it's gonna be another change in my life. I've just been getting these thoughts that I'm not making any progress, and but it's only sometimes. I I go from being like life is fine, life is great. I should be happy with what I have. I should forget everything bad that's happened in the past. I'm fine. I'm in a great place to and then sometimes I'll just be way down here and thinking why am I even getting up in the morning? What's the point? That sounds
I know it sounds
that
cliche.
sounds really depressing, but I promise it's only sometimes it goes up and down, it fluctuates my mood. But
Well, you think this is still going? I mean, how is it played out with your first year of college? I mean,
my first year of well,
I guess we've talked about what's happened in college, but we've never really talked about how we felt. I mean,
well, we haven't even talked about everything in college. I've just been thinking about this more now because I'm once again moving, so I'm just thinking about all the opportunities I might have missed here that I won't have when I'm at UB.
Hmm.
That's all I can think about. I'm just thinking about what's here, what I could have been doing during the summer that I won't have at UB, that I won't have the opportunity. I've wasted opportunity.
Well, this summer has been very out of the ordinary, so it is very difficult to do things. But do you mean seeing people or talking to people or doing activities?
Well, I mean, there are people in Mill Meadow. I have seen people over the summer. I've seen you a lot. I saw Zach a few times, but he was out of state, staying with his boyfriend for a while. I don't think it was a good idea to leave the state during times of a pandemic, but I didn't. It's fine. I'm happy that he's happy with his boyfriend. So I've only seen him a few times, but there were other people who I wanted to hang out with more, who I thought I would hang out with more, but they didn't. I don't know. No, I don't need to. No, no. Never mind.
People are.
Never mind.
No, well, Parker, people are doing different things now. People have different things they need to take care of, different priorities at this point in time, and do you feel like your high school experience could have? It obviously could have been much better, but maybe
I feel like
that's the reason.
I just missed so many opportunities. I wish I could go back and fix all of my mistakes, and I know I keep talking about Hannah now. I wish I had gone. I wish I could go back and tell myself never fall in love with that girl. Don't you dare fall in love with her. Don't even think about it because you're going to regret it.
What
Or just
would you regret?
have somehow been the guy she needed to have. And I wish I had told her how I felt right from the beginning. And then learned from my mistakes the reasons that she broke up with me, and I wish I could go back and fix that and be the person she needed me to be. But now that's high school, so there's no point in thinking about it. That's gone.
But it's your life. I mean, there's always the future, and for me, I've similarly, I've had to rewire my brain. I mean, and I've tried to push myself to think, okay, this was something that happened. This is what a relationship, but there are reasons why it's not there anymore. But it's okay to think about it.
And also, relationships that could have happened, but never mind.
Was there someone else?
I mean, okay, I said that this would be the session of me spilling all my secrets. Do you remember from the first I think it was the first podcast we did, I told you I had hung out with Natalie Feinstein. Yeah, I was hoping it wouldn't be a one-time thing. I was hoping we would have hung out some more times because I liked that one walk we went on, but after that she didn't seem to want to hang out again. I was kind of hoping that walk would turn into a date somehow. And it didn't. But part of me, ever since then, part of me has been thinking maybe she does like me and she just doesn't know how to say it. So, and maybe I should say I want to go on another walk with you.
More assertive.
But now that I'll be leaving Mill Meadow, we'll be in completely different places, and I might never be able to talk to her again, and I just feel like it's a
do you
mischance.
have her
I felt a
contact information?
I do, but she didn't seem to want to hang out with me again, which is fine. I just felt a bit of a connection, but
I guess you could at least try to contact her again.
I could, but I'm going back to UB, so it doesn't matter. I have friends at UB who I could. There are a lot of people back at UB who I haven't talked to in a while who I'd like to start talking. Who I'm excited to start talking to again once I get back there.
Well,
I'm just sorry. I can't stop talking about myself. Sorry.
unless this is a thing that, sure, if you want to move on from it, but unless this is a thing that you think about it a lot, and if it's...
I don't think about it a lot. I have other things that I think about more. But there are people back at UB. I know.
There could be other things you could think other things more, but you could still think about this a lot.
I don't want to. It's pointless thinking about it at UB. Because she's not at UB. There are other people for me at UB. I'm sure.
You're sure?
Well, it's complicated.
How much of a connection did you feel?
with
If I may
Natalie?
ask,
I mean, not. It's not like I want to. Not like a marriage connection. I didn't see like. I couldn't see like marrying her, but
marriage,
maybe
kids, baby.
not. Definitely not that far.
Hmm.
Definitely not kids or babies or anything like that. But and not marriage. No, Zach used to make fun of me a lot because I used to look at every possible relationship as the beginnings of a marriage, and
Really?
like I would feel like I would have to commit to everything like it was a marriage, and I would expect the other person to commit to me like it was a marriage. I mean, I know I didn't talk to you about this back then, but Natalie and I were sort of talking the summer after senior year before we went to college. And I feel embarrassed saying this now, but I felt I kept talking about like I felt like I wanted to marry her, which was stupid because we didn't even go on a single date at that point. We were just sort of talking, quote unquote talking. But Zach made fun of me for that a lot.
Of course he would.
I mean, Zach was in a pretty judgmental around that time.
I guess
he did not have the best influences.
Weren't we all just
around that
bad
time.
People?
I mean, I don't. No, like. Zach wasn't a bad person. I just think he had bad influences. That was. Do you remember other Zach?
Yes.
The one that this is actually kind of funny for the podcast listeners at home if you're still listening to this, if you're still out there. My friend Zach, we've talked about Zach. His first name ends with an H. Zach with an H. And he's gay. I know we've said that. And he my gay friend Zach with Zach with an H, actually in our senior year started dating someone who was also named Zach, but his name ended with a K. So it was kind of funny because we never knew I'd say Zach and then both of them would respond, even though I was only ever talking to Zach with an H.
You hung
because
out
I didn't
with both of them?
Well, I mean, I was pretty close friends with Zach, so sometimes, well, not often, like very infrequently, just sort of in group settings. And
I've met Zach with a K only one time, but other than that,
there was one time when it was just me and the two Zachs, but it wasn't supposed to be. Actually, this has to do with Natalie as well.
All right. I mean, I guess if we're
developing
developing a little narrative here, then
no,
go ahead.
We were talking about Natalie, and it's not a big deal. It has something to do with Natalie. Zach and Zach, the two Zachs, not the same person, were on a date, and I was texting with Natalie and seeing if maybe she could hang out too, so that we could. And I was waiting for her to respond. But I told Zach that with an H that maybe we could do a double date sort of thing, because I think I just assumed Natalie would say yes, that she wanted to hang out. But then
would she realize it was a double date?
Didn't.
Would that be awkward?
I didn't think of that part. I just didn't think.
Parker.
I don't think about these things. I make mistakes and whatever. I'm working on it, okay? This was a long time ago. But so she didn't end up showing up. She didn't end up coming. So it was just me and two Zachs. It was very awkward. I was never close with the other Zach, the one whose name ended with a K. So so it was a little awkward, but what were we talking about?
You were talking about how the double date.
Well, it wasn't a double date. It was just me third wheeling basically. But I mean, I never cared much for Zach with an A, with Zach with a K. Sorry, Zach with a K.
And it's funny.
Zach with an H is my best friend, but Zach with a K is not.
You.
Sorry. I know you don't like me saying
no,
that.
Did you mean Zach with a K with that one?
Zach with an H. My friend Zach with an H.
Yeah.
I'm not. I
let's
completely cut ties with Zach with a K.
I know. But
saying the name Zach so much, it doesn't feel like a real name anymore.
That was so long ago.
Like a year.
Yeah.
Only a year. Wow.
A lot has changed.
A lot has changed.
And your time with Natalie has changed, and
I mean, Natalie. It doesn't matter. I've put it behind me.
Yeah.
She's back here at Mill Meadow. I'll be in UB. It doesn't matter. I'm putting that whole thing behind me.
That's very good. I mean, I've never heard you say that before. Move on to.
I mean, I'm sure there will things to move on to at UB. I mean, I still feel like I'm just monopolizing the conversation.
I'm listening.
Well, I don't. This is the Aaron and Parker
what do you want?
podcast, not just the Parker talks everyone's ear off and just complains about his sad life all day.
I'm just not going to interrupt you and say random stuff. I want you to speak. Well, Parker, I've always been, a person who says that they use. I'm a person who says they use their brain most of the time, but usually I go from where I'm feeling in my brain rather than just thinking logically, which is, I guess I'm kind of hypocritical in that sense. So I would advise you to listen to the part of your brain that is telling you what your feelings are. If you are honestly still having feelings for this person, then I would say seek out some outlet. Seek out some way.
I don't know what my feelings
It could be
are.
writing poetry. It could be.
I don't want to go back to that. I looked back at the Google Doc where I wrote all of my poems, and I just
could be
cringed.
art. It could be art. It could be any form of art.
Could be drawing. I know. I know I said earlier in the first podcast that I got into drawing recently.
Yes.
That was nice. My friend from UB, she was the. I mentioned her. She's in the art school, and she was the one who inspired me to start drawing, because she drew a picture of me. I wanted her to draw her how she saw me, and I just thought it was really
like one
amazing.
Of your French girls.
No, not like that. No. I was fully clothed. We were both very clothed. She was dressed very modestly. But I know I think I said that in the first podcast already, that it was cool to see how she drew me, how she saw me, and I thought that was really cool.
You mean like not mirrored image?
No, just like, it wasn't the picture I saw. The drawing wasn't how I saw myself.
Did you see yourself
like seeing myself from new eyes. I don't know. She added her own flair to it. She always does with her artwork. She's like, she never does the proportions of like facial features completely accurate. She has her own style. Like usually the eyes are bigger.
Did the abstract qualities of it just?
Well, it wasn't abstract. It was just her. It was me It was like me through her eyes, through her hands, and there was something magical about that.
Hmm.
I don't know.
This is-
I've been thinking about that.
You've been thinking about her?
Okay. As I take another sip of my Blue Mountain Dew.
I have a sparkling water.
I know you love your sparkling water.
I don't love it. I enjoy it sometimes.
I've never been into sparkling water. It's just like you know how goldfish are the snack that smiles back? Like
yes,
who
I do.
Who wanted the drink that attacks back?
Attacks
Like,
back?
That's what it is. It's just an assault on your tongue. It stings. Like it's just wet water.
I think it's a great alternative
stings.
to soda. I remember being too addicted to soda as a kid.
But with most sparkling waters, the sparkling is too strong. Like with Mountain Dew, it's like the perfect level of carbonation. And
Mountain Dew.
I mean, I don't drink sodas too often. My mom never lets me really drink sodas.
First of all, I feel like sodas have a pack a bigger punch in terms of carbonation of freshly opened soda rather than a freshly opened sparkling water.
I disagree.
Maybe we should have a taste test.
I think there are more. Blue Mountain Dew tastes better than sparkling water. Sparkling water is so bland. But this isn't what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to go in about this girl, the artist. You want me to go? You want me to tell you?
You're saying it right now.
I mean,
so
I don't want
to. Seems like
I don't
want to.
I don't want to just talk about. I don't. I mean, if you really want me to talk about her that badly, if you.
I mean, what would I talk about?
Fine.
Honestly?
If you're really talking about, well, what would you talk about?
I don't know. There's nothing going on.
Okay, so if you want me to talk about her that badly, I'll talk about her.
Go.
I'm gonna hope no one who knows her hears this, but I guess there was this girl. I had a crush on her. If you're gonna call, I had minor crushes on a few people, I guess, in college. But
imagine that.
I feel like I always have some crush. I mean, usually it's never like two at a time. It's always one at a time. I can only focus my feelings on one person. Because when I focus my feelings, I really focus my feelings. But I can't help it. When you fall, you fall. When you know, you know.
Who said
you just
this?
Have to... I don't know who said that. I think...
You fall, you fall.
When you know, you
know.
When you fall, you fall. That sounds like it's from something. Like, when you... I feel like I can hear it in a British accent.
When you fall...
When you know, you know. When you fall, you fall.
Wow, I've never heard you do a British accent before.
Oh, you've never heard my British accent?
What is this, Parker?
You've never heard my British accent?
Yeah.
I'm not trained in an English accent.
Trained? Are you
in a British accent?
You did say. Are you?
I'm not trained in a British accent.
Do you want to do theater at UB? I remember you saying that a while ago.
I considered it, but it was just I mean, you know, I saw their production of Guys and Dolls.
When you fall, you fall. I'm looking this up.
And
when you fall hard.
And it was a really amazing production of Guys and Dolls.
I think you should make that a quote.
I feel like it's in a British accent.
When you know, you know.
No, but I don't want to plagiarize. I feel like it's not my own quote. When you know, you know. When you fall, you fall.
Wow. Okay.
That's just my... I'm sure you've heard my British accent
I've never heard this before.
You've never heard Sir Parker?
No.
I've never introduced you to Sir Parker.
No.
Okay.
Is this another character that you've done? I mean...
No, it was just a... It's just a stupid... It was a stupid bit. It was just a stupid bit. I guess I mainly mainly did it with Hannah.
You-
Is this a stupid bit? It was just a stupid bit that I sometimes did with Hannah.
Was it romantic? Was it
Well,
seductive?
Not seductive. Just like a cute like the 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 British are so
did you use
romantic.
that?
Europe is a very romantic place. Like Shakespeare was English. And Sir Parker. I don't want to talk about this. I didn't want to bring back Sir Parker.
About how
I
know you're a virgin.
So back to this girl.
Yeah.
Unrelated. Back to this girl. When you know, you know. When you fall, you fall. Back to this girl.
Yeah, I'm. You can go back to the girl.
Hold on. I'm gonna type in the full quote.
Okay. Well, and okay. Well, anyways, it's just Yep. This is go. I'm sure everyone has their tissues and they're weeping at the sound of.
No, I don't want it to be a sob story.
British,
I know.
A British accent. No, I was talking your British accent.
I don't want to just be like a sob story. I don't want my life to be a sob story. No, I don't want people to feel bad for me. I don't want people to pity me. I'm just saying things that have happened to me, and I guess they're sad, but
Do you not want to talk about this girl?
No, I can talk about this girl. I don't know, we lived in the same dorm house, and we had the first class I had of this first semester was like navigating the college experience class, and she was in that class with me. I mean, she mostly took art classes, so I didn't see a lot of her, but I did see her then, and I don't know, she was really cute. She had sort of like shoulder length brown hair, bangs, and sometimes like in earlier months she had a few freckles, and it was really cute. Like olive green eyes.
Was she polite? Was she nice?
She was wonderful. She made me feel seen. She really made me feel seen. Like she like not only saw me but acknowledged me and felt me.
Yeah. Okay.
No, not like that, Aaron. No, stop. Get your head out of whatever your head is in that makes you assume that everything I talk about is actually about like sexual stuff.
I'm just because I'm a little suspicious of what you do. So I adjust myself here.
No, you're suspicious of what I do. I know what you're getting at, Aaron.
Okay, well, you don't.
And okay, are we gonna go here? Are we gonna go here now?
I have no intentions of doing anything.
No, but conversation wise, do we really want to? I mean, I know I said I'd say anything that was on my mind. Do we want to go down this hole?
I don't know what hole you're trying to get into.
What you were implying?
What?
That you've been implying that you think I'm not, that I've done stuff. I'm not a virgin.
Oh.
That's what you've been implying.
Oh,
it seems like you've been trying to lead me to talking about that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It just seems like that's where you've been trying to direct me with. I don't.
Well, obviously you seem a little unnerved right now. I don't know why you would.
No, I mean,
Uh,
I haven't been thinking about this girl in a while. I sort of fell out of touch with her. We didn't talk at all in the second semester, and it's entirely my fault. I, you know me, always doing dumb things and making mistakes.
It's your fault.
Always doing dumb things and making mistakes.
Did you put her off somehow?
No, I liked her a lot, but I don't know, I didn't feel, when I looked at her, my mind didn't immediately jump to the idea of marriage. And I know that's a good thing. But in my mind then, that made me think this isn't right, because there are people I've looked at and have immediately thought marriage. But I liked her a lot, and I shouldn't.
Did you propose?
No, I didn't do that with her. I didn't. I didn't do that. That was not what I did with her. I feel like you need
a love therapist.
A love doctor? You want me to get a love doctor?
How much did this cost?
No, it's not. The love doctor isn't a real thing. It was fine. It was a joke that Hannah had. I'm not gonna say who with, because I know you don't want to.
I'm talking just about a couples therapist, but
I'm talking. The love doctor was a specific bit.
Okay.
That Hannah had with someone who will go unnamed.
Okay.
But
well,
no, it was my fault we lost touch. Never mind what I did. Never mind what I did. No, I don't. Never mind what I did.
All right, that's perfectly. I mean, this is. We could also cut. We could cut to the next thing.
You keep. I don't know. You keep. It feels like you keep trying to lead me in a certain direction.
I'm not.
Last podcast too.
I'm not.
Okay, maybe. Fine, let's go. Where do you? Is there anything specifically on your heart, on your mind, that you're burning to?
There is. Not really. Not that anyone has to know, or I don't even know. I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I'm ready to go.
Nothing's happened in college.
I'm ready to go, and nothing's happened, Parker.
I know you got those 2 points off on the vice purity.
I sure did. I mean, that's just it. No, I'm just ready to go back to Brown for just to study. I mean, that's really it. I mean, of course I'll miss you, and but
yeah.
There's no one. I mean, yep.
Because
I have friends. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't say you didn't. I don't doubt that you have friends. You're very smart.
Thank you. Yep. But
so nothing. You didn't have anything happen to you at college.
I mean, now it seems like he.
I feel bad about complaining about my girl problems and whatnot. And
I don't have any girl problems. I don't know what you would be saying with that. I mean, that's not. I'm completely okay right now.
Do you want to talk about?
What? She's not. She I don't know. I don't know who you're talking. No, she. No, what? Why? No, Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Because I mean, you talked to me about her. I don't know.
I mean,
you don't have to share everything on the podcast. I mean, it's a podcast. You don't have to just share everything on it.
I think I should. I guess I should be more honest. All right. I guess this person will go unnamed for the moment. But there is a bigger reason why I am looking forward to going back to Brown. It is I there is a person, a girl I met, and she initially, upon first meeting, I didn't know what to think. I guess she was pretty gothy, pretty pretty uptight, but at the same time pretty loose and casual. And
That's
that perplexed me.
hard to envision for me.
Yeah.
Do you have any pictures of her? Never showed me
No.
pictures. It's fine. It's fine.
But I
Just
do.
trying to get an image.
No, she at first came up to me and she said, I remember, she was just, I was in a study group. I did tell you this, Parker, but I mean,
Yeah. This is all stuff I've already heard. So
I was in a study group and
not pay attention.
I was in a study group and she happened to walk by and she said, no, she was for some reason looking for this club in new age techno music, and it was, I didn't know the club existed. But first off,
So is that what got you into?
Kind of.
Aaron, did you start listening to a new kind of music to impress a girl?
No, I didn't. No.
Who are you, Parker?
No.
That's something I would.
No. I
see.
No,
I'm being self-deprecating. I'm realizing my past mistakes. That's part of progress.
I think. No, she said is. Do you know anybody in this new age technology? Not new age technology, new age techno music club, and I said no, I don't know, and then she said, I'm starting this club. I heard you had a minor in music, and I said, oh yes, it was kind of forceful of her making me, upon meeting me, she kind of made me the vice president of this club, and I didn't know what to do, and she was so unique. I didn't know how to. At this point, she's gonna know if she listens, but I told her so much stuff about myself. I told her everything I've loved in life except for Heather. I told her everything, but I felt like she was paying attention to me, but also not at the same time. I don't know why I was drawn to this person, but and she
could be love that draws you. Who can say how it works?
And then from that point on, she started calling me by name, and I started saying her name, and we would walk together to some places, and she would just go on and on about the stuff she was doing, and I would just listen, and I would look at her, and I mean, to be fair, she is quite pretty, and then there was this one time it started to rain outside, and then she was getting a little upset because her makeup started to stream down her face, and I guess it was this weird moment where I said some stupid quote about not caring about not caring about what people look like under a mask, and she just kind of grabbed my hand and she felt better. I guess it was the first time that I had said something that I cared about, something artistic, and it made someone else feel something.
Really?
And then we went out to dinner that night and had some fries. But
I was for a second I thought that was gonna go in a completely different direction.
no,
Did
but
so you had fries
I am
then...
looking forward to. I don't know. I've talked to her once or twice over the summer, but she's really looking forward to seeing me again. We had some. She told me a lot about her family life, and I told her a lot. It was. We didn't see each other too often. We weren't too close over the course of the year, but something like that. It's good to say it out loud. I'm. I
Okay.
think I did have feelings for this person, and I hope I do hope that if she listens, I don't.
She's not gonna. I mean, how
I'm
many
worried
people
about
listen
coming
to
on
this?
too strong.
I
If I were, I mean, the feelings, the feelings have just been building, and I'm worried about I will say something or do something that I can't take back.
It's a constant worry for me. I understand that.
Well, I mean,
I
with
think
this
maybe
girl,
that's what happened with Natalie. I came on too strong.
but I want to no, I want to. I'm sorry. I have been pushing you to reveal something that I thought would be funny, but I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on with you. I don't even know if
Well,
I what I want to hear about this. No,
I really like this
I
girl,
want to hear
but
about this girl.
I haven't talked to her at all since I haven't talked to her at all since the first semester. And that's completely my fault. I just really messed up. And I couldn't.
What happened?
Okay, so one last gulp of my Blue Mountain Dew. Then I'll be
Sip
ready
of
for
my
it.
sparkling water, mixed berry flavored.
Holding nothing back.
You know what? I'm with you. Let's just.
We have
Go
nothing
on
to
there.
lose. We just wasted.
We have each other.
We wasted this whole summer, and now we only have a few days left, or I only have a few days left to.
I have a month
make up
doing
for
nothing.
that.
What am I gonna do in this month? I can't be by my.
But I can't. I also can't waste the few minutes I have left of this summer. Like time has suddenly started
Just
going so
go.
fast, and I've been wasting my time, and
This
like
can be
there's
2
no way to
episodes.
hide from this time. The time keeps going, and I can't get the hours I lose back. These minutes I lie just feeling sorry about myself. I can't just keep feeling sorry about myself.
Go. Just go. Oh.
I told her I wouldn't. I told her I wouldn't really tell anyone, but she said it was fine if I did, but I wasn't going to tell anyone. I didn't want to tell anyone, but I think I need to. It's been just weighing on my head and on my heart.
I never realized how much the impact of kept bottled up feelings and stuff can damage a person.
I thought I was done with wrestling with all this teenage angst when I was in high school. But ever since I graduated, I felt like I'm an adult. I can't express my feelings as much because people will say that I'm immature or just a hopeless romantic for saying these things out loud, so I've kept it bottled up more, but that's not good. So okay, so remember last podcast when, geez, I've never talked about this before, but
I'll go
I
ahead.
feel kind of uncomfortable talking about it.
We
But
can.
I'm just gonna pretend that the podcast isn't here, that no one's listening, that you're not here. I just need to get this off my chest.
I'm not here.
I need to get it off my chest. I'm just gonna let loose. I can't waste any more minutes just wallowing about things that I can't change now.
All right.
So I have to use every minute I have left of this summer. So last podcast, we're doing the truth or dare thing. There was the dare, there was a truth. The truth thing, the truth. The truth. Just tell the truth. The truth. That what's the longest amount of time you've gone without having sex? Feels weird even saying that. And I said 18 because that would imply that I've never, I wanted it to imply that it's never happened.
It's okay. It's okay. You can.
But I mean, this isn't just out of nowhere me saying this. It ties in with the story of the girl from UB. It ties in with that, and because I
see how
I've done
does.
more than I let on to you in the past year.
All right. Okay. I kind of expected something, but I didn't know what to. Keep going.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I should say the rest of this, because I mean, I know like everybody goes like wild at college. You know that, like, everybody goes wild at college, but it wasn't at college. It was, and it wasn't with the girl from UB.
College. What?
It was here in Mill Meadow.
What?
Over winter break. Jeez.
Are you shaking, Parker?
No, I've been keeping this inside for so long, and I just feel bad about it all over again, but things were going really well with this girl from UB towards the end of the semester, like finals week and everything. I really felt like she liked me back, and I really felt like she was going to ask me out. And that excited me for a bit, but then I just got terrified, because I knew if she asked me out, then I would know that she was somehow into me enough to go out of her way and put everything on the line, put her whole heart on the line, just to ask me out. And I didn't know if I was ready to carry that with me. I didn't know if I was terrified that she would ask me out and I would say yes, and she would be so in love with me and I just wouldn't be in love with her. But because I liked her a lot, but it didn't feel like how I felt with Hannah. So therefore I felt like I can't be in love with this girl.
I apologize. I love changes. Love takes time. But if that's how you felt, then I cannot change that.
Then around this time, I don't know who started it, but it might have just started with like commenting on someone else's social media post. I don't remember how it started, but I was suddenly in contact with Hannah again. Just not consistently, but every once in a while, texting back and forth.
All right. Yeah.
And this was around when we were going back for winter break back to Mill Meadow. And when that happened, the girl from UB kept texting me saying, like, hey, maybe we should meet up sometime during this winter break. I only live about 8 hours away. We could, like, meet halfway and hang out, because I don't want to be away from you for 8 months. It was so sweet, and I just couldn't.
It's very kind.
But I was texting Hannah at the same time, and I felt somehow it felt like if I texted the girl from UB back, it felt like I would be cheating on Hannah, even though we weren't dating at the time. It just, the act of us texting again, it made it feel so real, feel like we were together again.
The bond was that strong.
And also, on top of that, Hannah and whoever she was dating at the time had broken up. And in the back of my mind, I couldn't stop myself from thinking, it's because of me. They broke up because Hannah realized that she was meant to be with me or whatever. I hate thinking that, but that,
I mean,
that
you
thought
never
is
know
always
how
in the back of my mind.
You never know how she could feel. I mean,
because I thought I was over her. I really thought I had made progress, and my mind would never be on Hannah again. I would never look at her again and feel those feelings, but then I realized that those feelings never went away. I just started blocking them out. I just stopped letting myself feel them. So Hannah and I were texting back and forth. I don't remember how it started, but eventually she asked if I wanted to hang out, and I asked her if she wanted to hang out. I don't remember the details at this point, but I went to her house to hang out with her, and her parents, her whole family were gone for the weekend. It was just her there. It was mid-January. And we just got to talking. We caught up on, like, what had happened while we were both at college, and just meaningless stuff, just small talk, but it felt so much more natural than it ever had felt when we were together. And my mind started thinking, this is it. This is what it's supposed to be. It wasn't it when I was with Hannah before, but now that I've grown, and now that I know what I know now, I'm ready to be the person that Hannah needs me to be. And I started getting pretty sentimental towards the end of the night. She put on an old John Hughes movie. I had forgotten to watch Home Alone.
I remember
any of the Home Alone movies.
You said she was a movie person.
Yeah, I had forgotten to watch Home Alone that
Breakfast
Christmas.
Club.
So we just went through all of the Home Alone movies, and it got super late.
Those are entertaining.
I was extremely tired. I was barely awake. I felt, I don't want to say I felt intoxicated, because I don't know what it feels like to be intoxicated. I
figured you don't, but I mean, that could be another thing.
But she has a TV in her bedroom, and that was the most comfortable place to watch, just sitting on the bed. And I had no intention of doing anything with her. But as we got towards the end of the third Home Alone movie, I wasn't even watching anymore. I was just so Home Alone out, like the voice of Kevin McAllister, whatever his name is, that just felt like the only voice in the world, and I couldn't pay attention to what it was saying anymore. But I was still enjoying it, just being there with Hannah, and I thought, this is it. This is what I was missing before. This is true love. For a second. And somehow we ended up, like, cuddling.
Yeah, okay.
And I kissed her. I knew it was a huge mistake, but I kissed her, and then she kissed me back, and then it kept
we can
going.
You don't have to. I mean, for the sake of.
From there, I didn't
her,
have the intention to do anything, but
yeah.
And we were like making out. I don't want to like
this
be
is
too
I don't want
vulgar.
To be locker room talk at this point. I can infer what comes next.
But I mean, here's the thing though. I don't know if I can even count it, really. I don't know if I can count it, because, well, this is really embarrassing, but we're in this deep. I can.
Well, also, you need to. She is also a human being, so you have to respect her.
No one's gonna listen to this, Aaron. 50 viewers.
50 people, Parker.
Who won't even know who we are. But
that's true. We don't know, but we've not told anybody from Mill Meadow about this, so.
True, but
at the same time,
I don't like, it's not that. I don't even know if I can count it as that, because we got our clothes off for the most part eventually, but she just seemed so much more into it now than she did when we were ever together. And she started saying, like, are you sure you're okay with this? I know for a while you weren't, like, over me yet. I want to make sure those feelings are gone. And I told her, yeah, I don't have any of those feelings for you anymore. I just I just want to do this now.
She is saying that you are going to be performing these acts, but she wants you to make sure that you don't have any feelings when you are doing this. I think that's the opposite of what you're supposed to feel.
She was trying to be considerate. I know she wanted. What I can infer is that she wanted to make sure that this didn't make me fall back in love with her. That because I guess she just wanted it to be a one-time thing.
Well,
like she didn't have anyone to do it with at that point, and I was just a person. I don't know that for sure. I don't want to think that that's what it was, but I still don't know if I can even count it as losing my virginity, because
I don't.
It was more aroused.
Okay, Parker.
Than I have ever been. Than I had ever been. Like when we were together before, and we were going to do it. I felt like I was going to.
Parker, factually, it either happened or it didn't. I mean.
But what?
So I.
Okay, what do you count it as?
Well. Scientifically, you can figure it out.
Like
Yeah,
penetration?
yes, Parker. You don't have to describe it in detail. I mean,
Okay,
please don't. I mean, but
there wasn't penetration. I ejaculated prematurely, and it was a big mess. And I offered to clean her sheets for her, and I kept apologizing, and she kept saying, "It's fine, Parker. It's fine. It doesn't matter." And but I kept. She also wanted to make sure that it wasn't my first time. She wanted to make sure that it wasn't my first time, and that there weren't any romantic feelings going on. But so I said it was. I said it wasn't my first time. I said I had done it a bunch in college, and I was so embarrassed, but she kept saying it's fine. Just like, are you okay? And she was concerned for how I felt, and she knew I was embarrassed, and she wanted to make sure that this wasn't a mistake for me, and that just made it worse how considerate she was being. So, oh,
Parker.
I offered to
Parker.
clean up. She said it's fine. She just went to sleep, and I was too embarrassed to even sleep next to her, but I didn't want to go driving that late at night, so I slept on the floor next to her bed and only got like 2 hours of sleep. I woke up and she was still asleep. I tried saying goodbye to her, but she was asleep and I didn't want to wake her up, so I was doing that weird thing where I was standing there just quietly saying, Hannah, 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 just so that I could maybe wake her up and say goodbye to her, but wake her up gently,
right.
But she was fast asleep, so I just, for like 5 minutes, I just stood there like saying, Hannah, 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 trying not to move much, and then I sort of whispered goodbye, and I left the house as quietly as I could, and then I drove home, and I haven't seen her since.
Parker. Relax. Relax, okay? I really think you should relax and take a breather, alright? Drink your drink.
It's just, there's only like a few drips left of it. There's only just a few drops of the Blue Mountain Dew left. And
Parker,
I felt like I couldn't talk to the girl from UB again after that. And I was so embarrassed, and it was so horrible, but the whole time she was concerned with how I felt and if I was doing okay.
Well,
and
Parker, I want you
later she texted me making sure I was okay, but I didn't know how to respond, but she was so considerate, and that made it so much worse, because...
Would you rather her not be considerate and not care, and then you be entirely embarrassed and think in her...
Well, then I wouldn't have...
Parker,
I wouldn't have felt like I was in love with her again. I wouldn't have spent the next several weeks only thinking about her and how she... I didn't deserve to be... I never deserved her. And if that hadn't happened, I could have just forgotten about her more quickly. I could have just kept going as I was, forgetting about her. But now that brought it all back.
Parker, can I just say stuff?
Yeah.
Parker, I know you think things are for a reason, and I've said I don't, but that was kind of a facade, but as for me, I do think that there are reasons for some things, and I do think there is a reason why Hannah started dating you. I think there's a reason for you feeling the way about her. I think there is a big reason for her feeling the way that she felt about you. I don't think it was out of any sort of pity or anything. So to hear you say that you don't deserve her does not make sense to me.
I don't understand why I can't just let myself be happy. Why I can't just see a good situation for how it is and see this girl at UB who actually genuinely liked me and who I liked, to see that and just think, but this isn't exactly what I felt with Hannah. The moment I for once almost have a strong non-toxic relationship, my first instinct is to ruin it by sleeping with someone who brought out the worst in me. Why do I do that? Why can't...
Parker,
do I just hate myself?
I want to say, if you... Oh, Parker.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm sorry. I just been sitting on that for a while, and it feels like a relief to finally have told someone, but I'm just reliving those feelings all over again.
Parker, you know, I don't think you're feeling. I don't think why you chose to go back to Hannah in that instance was wrong. I don't think it was wrong. It's what you wanted. It's what you felt you had to do. All right, and I know you see that girl at UB as a perfect opportunity, and something that could be stable and functional. How do you feel? Do you love Hannah?
I don't think I have any idea of what love is that's at all based in reality.
Parker,
I know.
Love is confusing. I mean, love is like life. Just if the feelings you feel for Hannah is love, if it's weird and confusing and you need to sort it out, I think that could be love, and I think it could flourish. But I also think you need to really decode why you went back to Hannah. I don't think it was because of a sexual impulse. As you said before, you weren't thinking of doing anything beforehand. That's not the point.
But what if it was? What if I'm just a
crazy What if you
freak?
said you had no intention and it just happened?
Intentions mean nothing.
I disagree.
What matters is that I did it. I willingly went forward and did it. When I knew that it would ruin me, I lied to Hannah about where I was coming from. I told her I was completely over her, and I told her I was okay with this and that it wouldn't bring back any feelings for her. I told her all of that. And you know what? And I just left this girl who I really liked just wondering what happened.
Hey, well, I think your options are still open, and I know that's not what you're wanting. I know that's not what you're trying to find the answer for. But you know what? If Hannah didn't feel uncomfortable with the situation, and if she was understanding and considerate, then I don't think you should beat yourself up about it too much if you happen to lie to her in the moment. You know? I know it's messy. I know you just answered a messy truth, just like on the last episode, but
Yeah, messy.
you know what?
My life's messy.
Thank you for, I'm, it's okay that you did that. I mean, I'm not gonna criticize you for that. I'm really not.
Sorry, this was
I
not.
know. I feel like I would. I feel like I would criticize you if I didn't know the circumstances. It, well,
I've never been a person who looks at someone and thinks like that and thinks about like sex. It's
Parker, you weren't.
But in that moment, I equated love and sex.
You're not like them. I thought
if I can't.
You're not like them.
In that moment, I think what I thought was, if I can't make myself be truly in love, then this is all I can do, and this will make me be truly in love. It's something I don't know.
Hey,
maybe it's society's fault. Maybe we're just.
You should be. You know what? Why not? Why not tell Hannah this? Why not tell her how you're feeling? See what happens. If you're assuming at this point that she is over you. I mean, what could be the worst thing that could happen if you tell her about this experience from your point of view?
I don't know what could be gained from that.
What could be gained from it is her understanding and maybe you working something out. I mean, you've always wanted.
I doubt she ever thinks about it. I think she's probably forgotten about it. I was probably just one of 6 or 7 that break who she
6 or 7.
Not Parker, 6 or 7.
Parker, you're just assuming a bunch of facts that are not even facts.
Well, I know. She dated a lot of guys before me in high school.
Well, I'm saying,
and she dated some people after me. So it's not unlikely that she just sees me as one of many, and I saw her at the time as the love of my life, and I saw myself being with her forever, and she just thought of me as another fling.
You are putting up lots of hypotheticals at this point, and they are literally, you're building a hypothetical off of a hypothetical, and you will never know until you ask her.
I don't want to be tormented by Hannah anymore.
Tormented.
I'm done with that.
I feel like my ability to move on has come from. Do you remember that party? I went up to. I said it.
Okay, but you only did that when you were pretending that you were completely drunk and had no clue what you were saying. And that's not actually confessing. That's just being a dumbass. Sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't usually swear.
We're talking about sex.
I didn't mean. I don't want you guys to think I'm that vulgar. Usually, I didn't. I'm not calling you a dummy.
You just did.
I just said that.
Parker, it's fine.
If you're telling me that I need to be upfront and tell someone how I'm feeling, and that will give me closure, I don't think that sounds great coming to someone who could only get closure through pretending to go on a drunken rage to a person who broke up with them 3 years before.
Some aspects of that were from a very, very bad start. And that plan was not well thought out and was very, very selfish. But the point is, I think what we all need to learn as people is that honesty is insanely powerful.
I guess so. I mean, that telling you the truth just now, that did help a lot, but
Me too.
it doesn't stop me from hating myself for it.
Do you feel like anything was learned? Sounds
I
that's
don't
passive.
know
That
that
sounds passive.
I
Do you feel like you learned anything?
yeah, I know how much you hate the passive voice, but I don't know. I don't know what could be gained from this. I
Well,
just now I know that I can't trust myself not to act on impulses and mess everything up. But maybe maybe it's just society. It's the media that we consume that gives us this false idea of romance. Cuz all the movies we watch, all the shows we watch, all of the media we have portrays romance in a
it
very
is a
specific way,
romantic comedy.
and
It's
it always encourages trying and going back for the girl.
usually ends up
And
as a non-romantic tragedy, in my opinion.
okay, Aaron,
But you keep going.
but they always encourage going for the girl, and like maybe you'll hurt some people along the way, but it's all made up for by the fact that you get your one true love in the end. But that's not, I don't know, that's all I've ever known from the media I have, and I feel like we're taught that it's okay to be a bad person if you if the end goal is true love, and it's not. I mean, have
I
you
mean,
ever seen did you ever watch Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
I did
Did
not.
you ever watch that movie? I watched it. I first saw it in junior high, and I watched it a lot in high school. It was my favorite movie, or one of my favorite movies. And I think part of me has been modeling myself after the after Scott Pilgrim, who and I've recently realized that that's not what I should be doing.
He's not an actual pilgrim, right?
No. He's played by Michael Cera. Do you know? Have you seen anything with Michael Cera?
Maybe. Probably.
Well, the point is, I saw that as romance. I saw that movie as romance. And it wasn't until recently that the movie tricked me, that I saw Scott Pilgrim as this role model, but then I realized that the first thing he does in the movie is, as a 23-year-old, cheat on his teenage girlfriend.
Ah.
But the movie tricked me into thinking that's who I should model myself after, cuz he seemed like he's very awkward. I saw so much of myself in him. He's very shy and awkward. And so I thought that in order for me to be happy, I need to do the things that he does. And I don't think that was healthy for me.
Well, maybe. I mean, Hannah watches a lot of movies. Maybe she saw the same thing.
I'm sure she saw Scott Pilgrim, but the love interest in that one is Ramona Flowers. And she's, do you know the phrase manic pixie dream girl?
Yes.
She's like the epitome of that.
Oh.
And when I was watching it at a very impressionable young age, I guess what that instilled in my mind was the idea that that's what girls are like. That every girl I will want will be like that, and will just be this dream girl that will want everything that I want in the relationship, that I will have to fight for, but it'll be worth it when I fight for her, because the only things I'll be fighting will be external the external forces. It's me against the world. It's never me against
It's
her.
Parker Cole versus the world, in a sense.
Parker Cole versus the world.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's just a funny idea. But I thought
you versus the world.
wouldn't be much of a match.
Would we like a
I'm
battle?
pretty weak. No, but like the idea that you have to fight for this girl, but you're only fighting external forces. You're never fighting her. It's never a conflict between you and her. You know that she is in love with you, and you know that she is everything you want in a girl. But the only thing that's stopping you from being together is things outside of just you and her, because you're perfect together.
Okay, like a movie. It's kind
Yeah.
of like a movie.
Yeah, like I thought it was gonna be me and Hannah versus the world. Like, we're working together to fight everyone else who is trying to stop the relationship. But then what it ended up being was like me versus her versus sometimes me and her versus all of her friends versus like all the problems in our relationship, you know, and versus
Right.
like all the people I was worried she was gonna cheat on me for. It's never, and versus her just plain not being as into me as I was to her. It's not just you versus the world. You're not always the hero, and the girl doesn't always want to be fought for.
Yeah, you just.
I don't know who I'm telling this to. Just
telling
to myself, because I need.
You.
I think I needed
someone
to tell that to me.
Go on, write
slap that into me.
Put that in a review.
Slap
of
that
the
idea
movie.
into me.
Put that in review. In a review of the movie.
There's no such thing as the manic pixie dream girl. I know that that's not what Hannah is, and I know that that's not what anybody is.
Just you can make your life how you want it to be. Just make, in a sense, write your own movie. I've been enveloped in writing and different different perspectives recently, and I think the way you write can be applicable to how you form the world around you and how you live your life. That's what most writers say. I mean, you know, I think you're being very analytical about this, and this is I mean, you've been analytical in the past, but it's kind of been just incoherent, just stuttering, and but
I've been working on my stutter.
well, not stuttering, that was offensive, but I think that you are being very mature about this, but it's also coming from a place of honesty. So she's kind of manic in a way.
Hannah?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I feel like she might share the same feelings as you, but
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about Hannah anymore. Maybe never again. But she was a part of my life. She was just a person.
she still is.
She's not the person I wanted her to be. She's not the person I thought she was. She's I'm not the person I thought I was. I
From what you're
honestly
saying,
don't know
from
who I am
what you're saying,
anymore.
there's a lot of similarities between you and her.
I
I
don't
can't help but notice them when you say this stuff.
I don't want there to be. That's kind of bizarre to hear someone say, because I always saw her as like being with her as the end goal to my whole high school experience. That was what it was all culminating in. I was always pining after her, and I was always writing these poems about how beautiful she was and complimenting her every day after English class, and it was always genuine. My compliments were always genuine because I could always find something new to compliment about her, and I always surprised myself with how much I could find in her that I found that was so amazing and wonderful. And jeez, I forgot where I was going with
You
this.
just said wonderful. I mean, you said it yourself.
But I saw her as so far above me because she was always the thing that I wanted, and I didn't think there was any reason for her to want me, for her to feel the same way about me. So it's hard for me to imagine you saying that Hannah is so similar to me. It's hard for me to imagine her
I mean, just
her pining after someone like that.
I haven't had much experience with Hannah.
I know.
I'm not going to vouch. I'm not going to vouch for anything she's done, but I'm not going to be an expert. So but from what you have said, and from how, I mean, I think you're, at the moment, you're being very considerate. And I think she wasn't in the moment you described earlier. So I feel like there's a lot of confusion with who's feeling what at what time. I feel like things should be aligned. I feel like there's a way for things to be aligned.
I don't want to talk about Hannah anymore. You
continue to, and I'm just
when
saying...
you say that we're so similar, I don't want us to be that similar because I don't want to have to imagine don't want to have to imagine her feeling about herself the way I feel about myself. It would hurt too much to think about her having to go through that.
I guess I didn't realize how badly you thought about yourself, Parker.
But as I said earlier, it goes up and down. I mean, sometimes I'm up here, I'm fine, I don't think about any of this. There's no reason to.
A lot of this podcast has not... I mean...
Jesus, I forgot this was still a podcast.
I know, it just, at this point, it feels like an honest saying this to the world and no one else is listening, but...
I think it's what we need sometimes.
I mean, for me, there's not much... For me, I'm not hating myself right now, and I'm not saying you are, but I feel like, for me, I am a little confused with how the future might be with me, but I feel comfortable, but I didn't know, Parker. I didn't know.
I think I just needed to get this all off my chest. Sometimes I'm lying in bed at night and I just feel the urge to jump out of bed, run outside and just scream. Just scream at the sky, just scream at Mill Meadow, scream at everything that has happened at Mill Meadow everything my whole life. Just scream at all of it and like not care that people would be like looking out their windows wondering who the crazy person is screaming in the middle of the road, but I just get that urge sometimes because I don't understand why everything like this all had to happen to me. And I get so angry, even though it's completely out of my control. I get so angry that I always do this to myself. And I know the fact that I'm mad at myself about this, the fact that I'm being so hard on myself means that I'm more ready and willing to grow as a person. It means that I'm coming to terms with my past and that I will be better for it. It means progress. It definitely means progress.
Definitely.
But it just hurts thinking these thoughts. It kind of reminds me, screaming kind of reminds me of Tommy. He
Wow. Yeah.
That poem one of the poems he read about when he got us all together after Rachel he had all those poems out, and one of them was about the wolf inside me and wanting to howl at the moon. I never thought I would be comparing myself to Tommy Greenblatt.
I didn't either, especially after like he got kind of angry at me. But
I always thought he was crazy, just high all the time, but maybe he was the sane one. Maybe he was...
I don't know.
Maybe he was the only one who really knew what was going on.
I don't think so. He's kind of frightened me. But
he frightened all of us, but maybe we were just frightened of the truth. He always told it like it was. He was always unashamed of being himself and unashamed of talking about how the world was. And we were terrified of that. That's why everyone alienated him. But he never said a single word that didn't come from the heart. Whatever kind of heart he had, you have to admire that. You always knew how he felt about you.
He didn't lie. He was late to class sometimes, but he didn't really lie, did he? He didn't put on a facade.
We saw all of the scary, gross, disgusting, horrifying stuff inside of him. We saw all of that side of him. But maybe that's how it should be for everyone.
I don't know. And I know in the end I heard that he very much suffered in the end, but I wonder how he is doing.
I mean, last I heard, he was still living in Utah. I know he moved there. He's not going to... He might be going to some community college out in Utah, or he might be working or something. I know Zach talked with him once, since in the past year.
Really?
But he didn't say much about his situation.
I don't think... Parker, I don't think people deserve suffering. I know it's about... High school was about, just commenting on other people's suffering. Kind of. A lot of it, that's what I felt. But everyone suffered at the same time, but nobody realized that we were all suffering together.
Yeah.
But I don't think people deserve it innately.
No. Nobody deserved what happened to them.
I mean...
Nobody.
I guess...
Oscar maybe, but never mind.
Well, I think he remedied that quickly by signing up.
But I know how you feel about it.
But it's just, well, mainly, looking back at all this, I'm starting to feel again how I felt back then. I haven't felt like that for a long, long time.
What do you mean, how you felt back then?
I I was very much broken, trying to maintain this personality who was very me being very, I was the one who would always be the stick in the mud, I know. But the
Well,
thing is, I was trying to maintain it, and at the same time, I was often the one being, everyone was, but I was being pushed around, but I also had my faults, but I don't want to really delve deep right now, but the point is, I guess, this past year has been probably the best year
that
at Brown.
that makes me very happy to hear, Aaron.
It's been the best year. And now I think the future looks even brighter with people being able to figure out themselves in this time. Although this time is very scary. Um, I feel like back then was even scarier.
Huh.
Hey,
It's all scary. Life, it's terrifying, but I feel like you saying that it's given me more hope than I've felt in a long time, and that makes it a little less scary. I mean, who knows what college life is going to be like now with the new restrictions. It'll be completely different from anything we've experienced before. But, I mean, look where we've been. Look at what we've already been through. Look at what we've learned.
Exactly.
What more could life throw at us that we can't handle now?
I mean, I'm glad that people listening to this podcast could be along for the ride.
Yeah.
As we continue, but that's just a side note.
Please
keep listening.
Just a note, talking personally to the listeners. I know it's cliche, but please know that no one is alone. Like, no one is ever alone. We're all, if you're suffering, you're all suffering together. And we need to be more open about that. We need to acknowledge that we're all suffering so that we can all help each other out in our own ways. And I think going forward into whatever the rest of this year may hold, with maybe a second wave of the virus, the election, don't want to get political, but it is an election year. With, I mean, there's other stuff going on too. Don't want to get political, but with whatever's going on, you don't have to suffer through it alone.
I mean, you can always. I mean, we're here. We can talk to people if you want.
Yeah, why not?
If you want it in the comments.
If you ever want to.
I mean, I don't know if the comments would be the best way, but
if you want to leave your phone number, no, that doesn't work. But because then we would have to text you first. But I don't know. I don't know if
stretch,
we should have
but people
random strangers just.
I know people can find people. Always have people. I feel like there's always someone for someone, whether it be a friend or a family member that can. I mean, for me, my whole life it's been my mom, and some people don't have that, and I acknowledge that, but I feel like I take advantage of my mom. Like, I feel like I'm able to talk to her, and some people aren't. Just try to find someone in your group or someone that you know who is personable and who can understand how you're feeling, even if they don't, in a way, which is conflicting statement.
I don't know who that would be for me, my person. I mean, you said your mom, but I've never been as close with my parents.
Well, the thing is, Parker, I feel like it's been you. For me, recently. I I mean, I just said my mom for the majority of my life, but I mean, look at this. I mean, look at us now. It's. I
That
mean, for me, I mean, you have all jokes aside with this podcast. It's opened up my eyes to how you are as a person and how I can laugh and joke with someone, but at the same time gain some reflective information. I mean, you've done that for me just by rambling and talking. I mean, of course I acknowledge how you feel with things, but I also it makes me feel good. So,
that really means a lot to hear, Aaron. It makes me feel really good to know that I've been having a positive impact on your life, and I didn't even know I was. And I feel like this has opened up my own eyes as well, like because you've been there my whole life. You've been there for me my whole life, but I've never really taken the opportunity to reach out to you and really discuss things with you. Like, we've always been in the same friend group, but you were always just there. It was never really the two of us as much before this. And
we had our practice room times, but
well, yeah, but I was that was freshman year. I was
year.
always thinking about something else. I was always thinking about some girl, but Aaron, I really appreciate you saying that. I think I needed to hear that. I feel like I was worried that any time I do something for someone else's benefit, it's usually I mean, it sounds silly, but it's usually just trying to impress some girl. And I'm glad I was able to do this
moment.
for
I
you.
mean, I don't have any evidence to say otherwise, but in this moment, you weren't trying to impress a girl. No.
I mean, can I give you a hug?
I was gonna say the same thing.
I mean, you don't usually
I was
hug,
gonna say
but
the same thing.
I feel like we've both gotten a lot out, and it would be helpful to.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean.
I'm sorry.
Hey, shoot. That's okay.
Wait, should we be facing? We've been close to each other.
I can hug you. It's at this point.
Yeah, I think
it's.
I think so. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry, you guys. You don't. I mean, you're probably thinking, why don't these guys just talk to each other, just talking to each other? Why do they have to record it? Do they have to hug for everyone else? I know it, but that's what our viewers are thinking. I mean,
it's
I
just
don't have that
happened
many
over this
viewers,
podcast, I guess. Wow. I feel like I don't know. I hope the listeners have gotten as much out of this as I feel like I have.
The future is bright, Aaron. The future is bright.
The future. I mean, I definitely this will not be a 2.5 hour long one. We can split it up.
We can split it up into 2 parts at some point. Wow, what happened to the time?
But the thing is, the future will be great. The thing is, we can still continue this. This seems like the end of this episode seems like the end of a almost season of this podcast.
Even though it's only been 4 episodes, what kind of season is only 4 episodes? But yeah. Well, I
I mean, is there anything else? I mean, we can discuss. Uh, we are leaving soon, and that's very, very different. I mean, well, not different. I mean, in this time, it is very different to be able not to say our goodbyes to a lot of people, and
Yeah.
but things will change.
Things will change.
Um, yeah, get a little choked up.
Oh.
I don't cry. I don't.
It's been a while since I haven't seen you cry in a long time, Aaron. I mean, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, I'm not good with people crying.
well, I guess should we end
Unless
this
you have
one?
anything else you want to say, then
I don't
good.
really. I don't know what I'm gonna do for a month. When you're gone.
You'll manage. I mean,
Well, I mean not for a
look
month.
how
Well,
much.
a month until I go to college, but a month until I'm still here. I'm.
But look how many months you've gotten through. Look how many months you got through in spring when you couldn't really see anyone. It'll be fine. I know it will.
I'm gonna miss you a lot.
I miss you too, Aaron. We're not.
I-
We can do the soppy goodbye stuff off camera, off video, off speaking, off of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is this is this is good. Anything? I mean, is there anything else left?
I don't think so.
Well,
Can't think of anything else to talk about.
I'm surprised my cat hasn't knocked on the door in one of these episodes. We haven't talked about my cat. I have a cat named Lewis.
Oh, Lewis.
He's fun. I just
he's
feel
fun.
drained. I don't.
Me too. I need to
But you know
take
what?
a shower or a vacation or Advil or something.
Or drugs.
Like no, like those Advil liquid gels.
Yeah, I know.
I love those. I don't understand how they work. Like there's liquid in the capsules.
They're capsules.
There's liquid in them.
Yes, that's how it works.
But like, if I was making a list of things I don't understand, towards the top of that list, Advil liquid gels. How does the liquid get into you?
It's the capsule. Itself, it's not okay. Well,
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
Okay. Well, the future is going to be fun and different. It is going to be exciting. I'm very curious to see how everything goes. Well, I don't think this will be a season 1. It'll definitely be a time mark. This is a turning point.
Yeah, this is, and I'm ready.
All right.
Are you ready, Aaron?
Yeah, I'm ready. Well
then, let's go.
This is it. This has been the podcast.
I was hoping the "let's go" would be like the final line, but